All right, what's going on? What's going on? Turn up a little bit. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Oh man, I just realized something. Hey, I have to deal with it without it. Shoot. As a matter of fact, let me go back. Let me turn around. I need to go back. But while we doing that, we hear what's going on, what's popping. Just figure I do show up a little early. I was meaning to do this yesterday, but I had some things to do. I had to tend to some family members, their activities. So went out and had a little fun with the family. So I rescheduled for today, and we here. All right, we here. And so, with that being said, what's going on? How's everybody doing in his house? Let me see something real quick here. Okay. Well, we are going to get it in real quick. Try not to be long, but I'm going to try to be as detailed as possible. Right. But you guys give me. Hold on, let me get pulled up real quick. Yeah, you guys bear with me for about 30 seconds to a minute real quick. All right, so I'll be right back. Y'all give me about 30 seconds. All right, we back. Thanks for waiting. Appreciate that. All right. Well, it's like this. At this point, no matter what, I think every black person in the US, just about, there's still, and this goes to, I don't care if you're a straight black person, I don't care if you're in the alphabet group black person, I don't care if you native black to America, I don't care if you're a black immigrant in America, At this point, you should know what's going on and seeing the games and seeing the nonsense going on. And if you think about considering, because the midterms is coming up and they're doing things to try to galvanize or gather the black vote at this point. But if you go for that, I don't even know where to start, what to say about you. You got issues, you got a problem, got your head stuck in your butt, something, right? As you guys can see these pictures here, of this picture. And so we're going to talk about that, man. And like I said, I'm going to try not to be on here too long. And but we're going to try to get it in. All right? So with that being said, you know what it is. You rocking with the best thoughts of the week. Let's get it.
Wanna rock with you, dance you in today. I wanna rock with you. We're gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there.
You're rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast.
Yes, indeed, you rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast. And I'm going mobile with it. I'm hollering at y'all on the road today. And yeah, let me pull these things up real quick, a little at a time here. All right. Give you a little visuals. All right. Looking at this picture right here, and I'll comment on some more others and, comment on some other things. What do you see and what do you not see in these pictures? Right? What do you see? What do you not see? Not see. What do you not see, right? Now, this is another one, interesting one. Kind of gives you the impression of, they got the young vote like that, which I highly doubt. Look at that one, right? Again, like I said earlier, if you're not seeing what's going on in disrespect towards black folks, along with some other things, just kind of like maybe on a subtlety type of tip, don't see what's going on, and you go for the okie doke, and somebody finds out and they call you out on it publicly, I say you deserve to get called out publicly, right? And what am I talking about? It's things that a lot of people have been saying for the longest. And it seems like new stuff is coming up. I'll start with the new thing. I just seen a news tweet. Now, is it on Twitter? It's a news tweet. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it and verify, but I'm hearing that Biden's gonna something in the tune of 800 million. Gonna continue with the supporting Ukraine, right? With the money. I guess going towards weapons. But again, when it comes to reparations for the descendants of slaves, what do they get? Just a bunch of talk. Or, the old thing used to be that they claimed they didn't have any money. They claimed there was no money to give out, but you see how much money they done put out. And within the last year or so, there's so many other groups. Then you have a state, because I only know of one, being California. There was talk about trying to divvy up some reparations, but then there was some conflicting info with that, because I seen one news thing about them, California, speaking of, doing the reparations thing, but then claiming not to have, on another article, they claimed there wasn't enough money. But yeah, I did a news story on another channel. You guys can go to that. I think you can look on this channel's page and click on what's the 411 news. But yet I did a news story about California giving about $100 million to what they call the Native Indians, the so-called Native Indians in California. They have money to do that, and how they was going to split it up and what it was going to be for. And they have money for that. But then there was talk about, they don't know if they're going to have enough money for to pay reparations to the descendants of American slaves, right? Then we have people calling for reparations. And they said, well, we'll give you Juneteenth. How about that? And then, not too long after Juneteenth, they gave some other group some more money. But they gave, for black folks, you get Juneteenth, right? Then it was called for reparations again. Reparations, it's time to cut that check. They said, this was a while back. We'll give you Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. We'll give you that, right? Then they go on and get, I might not be saying this in the order of the timeline, but the facts is out there. We'll give Afghanistan, we're going to give you about the refugees or whoever at this point. We're going to give you about 500 million, right? And we still talking about, it's time for y'all to cut that check. This country was built off the backs of our ancestors, and it's time to pay up. You dodged giving them money. Now you got to give their offspring some money. In the trillions at that, right? But they dodged the bullet again and said, you know what we're going to do for y'all? We're going to put Maya Angelou on the quarter. We're going to do that for y'all, right? We ain't going to give you no money, but we're going to put Maya Angelou on the quarter. And then, the Asians, we're going to give you an Asian law specifically for you. And on top of that, we're going to throw in some $50 million. And then what they give black folks, when we said cut the check, we're going to give you the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill or anti-lynching law now, I guess. I think it is. I believe I did a story on that too, I think. If not, I know I did this podcast episode on it for sure. And another smack in the face with that, you gave the Asians the anti-Asian hate, right? Gave them some money. Gave us, you fooled some of us, you didn't fool all of us. An Emmett Till law, but Also, you check my previous podcast episodes. I did a episode of regarding what the FBI, their report, and their report showed that it was black people who are the most hated in the U.S. But you still gave the Asians a hate crimes law. But your own federal law enforcement said it's the black people that are hated the most, not the Asians. And when you look at that report, because I did that episode, I think I went back 10, maybe 15 or 20 years back. And every year, with no fail, it was black people on top of the list as the most hated. Every single year for at least 10 years. I say it's more because I think I was kind of scrolling when I did that episode. I said, let me go back a little further. And I kept seeing on the top, number one, black, most hated, black, most hated, black, most hated, black, most hated, black, most hated. And I was trying to figure out, well, how is that? How did the Asians get a hate crime bill and the black folks is the most hated? Then they were supposed to give that George Floyd bill a law. And what the Democrats do with that? Absolutely nothing. They wanted to talk about voter rights. And they couldn't even get that taken care of. Not that black people was looking for that, but they couldn't even get that handled. Right? So there's another thing going on the list. Let me see what else we got here. As I'm talking, other things come on my mind, but I'm still talking about the other thing and I lose it. But it's been so many, I say, violations at this point of disrespect towards black folks. And you had the unfortunate incident with the Leoya, or Leoya. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Dude from Africa got shot in the back of the head. Right? You got that situation. I mean, I think the video is out circulating around a little bit for those who want to watch it. I seen the one where, they go all the way up until he gets shot in the head. But I think there's some apps out there that actually shows the whole thing. Right? And this is why I spoke about, probably in several episodes in the past, where these black immigrants need to stop that nonsense, man, when you keep coming over here and you don't either link up with the native blacks here, or you have some type of disrespect, some hate of some sort. You look at other races of people, but they gonna keep showing you that they look at you the same way they look at us. They're gonna keep showing you that, and you still gonna ignore that. That's why I said in the beginning, some people are, if you don't see what's going on at this point, something wrong with you. With a lot of stuff going on. And now that I remember what I was going to say, I'm going to say this. This kind of goes into now, so what are people going to be doing? Right? What are people going to be doing in regards to the vote? Now, you got some black people talking about they're going to do I forget the word for it, but just to hate on the Democrats, they're going to vote Republican. But my question to that is, just because you're going to vote Republican because you don't like what the Democrats have been doing towards black folks and been looking out for every other ethnic group out here, is that move strategically going to help? Is in the best benefit of black people? By you voting for the Republicans just to a protest vote. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Protest vote. So you're going to do a protest vote by voting Republican just because how the Democrats been treating black people. Is that beneficial to black people by doing that? I would say it's not. Me personally, I say I disagree with that. It's not in the best interest of black people just because you want to go vote. You're still showing yourself to want to be linked up to the system. And this was a thing we talked about. Not I say we because myself and others have spoke on this numerous times right before Biden was going to become president. And it was getting to that stage where it was going to be soon time to vote for a new president. Me and others, myself and others, were saying just don't vote, and that kind of tripped people out. Like, what? Don't vote? Yeah. And then the thing was the lesser of two evil talk, but with the lesser of two evils, no matter who you vote for, you're still going to vote for evil, right? And people were still kind of tripping off of that. I think I even had, I'm almost certain I had a family member on a few of my past posts got upset with me. I don't know if they knew I was family, but I kept looking at the name. And I said, that name sounds familiar. It might be like a distant relative, but I still remembered, or at least it seemed like it was. And I think I went to check the Facebook page. It was on Facebook where I left a post in regards to saying, y'all better not vote for Biden because there's going to be you're going to have some issues. And everybody who made that same comment is turning out today to be correct. And like I said, there's been so many examples. I left a few examples out. The one with the Zoom meeting where Biden was talking to those them black folks, black civil rights leaders. And I'm gonna get on them in a minute if I remember. There's so much stuff that's coming to mind now. But I remember but commenting on Facebook about, I'm telling y'all, don't do it because of the information I was gathering and seeing in real time. And I'm looking at Biden's Twitter on several occasions before him becoming president. He was showing you who he was going to be down for. I've shown some people the tweets, who he's going to be down for. Or maybe a couple of, maybe one person really, because it wasn't a bunch. I happened to be with some folks. But it was about 1, 2, 3, about 4 of us. And I showed one person. I showed them the Twitter tweet about DACA. I said, so who you think he gonna go for? Who you think he gonna look out for when he becomes president, if he becomes president? And I showed another tweet. I said, what does this say right here? And I showed them that tweet, and I said, they don't put nothing on them pages unless it's approved. So this is legit. They're just not going to have nothing haphazardly putting on there. Because I'm sure Biden is not doing his own Twitter feeds. It's somebody doing it for him, and they have to make sure whatever they put on there gets the okay. So we know it was legit. And so with that, and then me getting on social media and saying, I'm telling you, don't do it. And then other people doing the same thing. Folks tripping out. Then we told them, just don't vote. Make that no vote is a strategy. And I think that's an issue with folks. A lot of people don't know how to think strategically. Don't know how to think like as if you was in a war. And if you don't want to think on it from them terms, just think about being strategic. It's real simple. Being strategic is simple. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on it probably next month about the basics of being strategic. Not on this channel, but on another channel. It's real simple about being strategic. But then, like I said, got on the page there and folks was going back and forth. I remember another dude, I was saying something about Kamala Harris a while back. And this dude went, I'm trying to remember his name. I want to say Hayes is his last name on Facebook. And he went all around the world, going back and forth with me, back and forth, back and forth. When I had some things to say about Kamala, that she's not black, she don't represent being black. They've been playing with her name, with her race since she became vice president, and even before then, she's been messing up. And that's due to her team not knowing any better as well. So made her look dumb. You know, she said some things about being in college and who she listened to. And as far as rap music goes, like, because you listen to rap music, that's supposed to be something, we're supposed to give you the approval because you listen to rap. And it turned out that the rap music she claimed she listened to, that artist wasn't even out yet. Never put anything out, any music out. All right. And then it was the things about her being claiming to be black. But yet she did some foul stuff to some black women. The very people that people are saying, oh, she's gonna be good for black women, but you kind of gave black women the shaft in California. Right? You gave black women the shaft in California. So yeah, so I think I went kind of back and forth with a relative. I'm almost certain that was the case about, a couple of years ago. And so my question now is, where are all the black people who are also dubbed the Biden sexuals? Where are all the Biden sexuals at who voted for Biden and the Democrats? Where are they at? Because I know you see all this stuff that's been going on. I know you see it. But not a peep out of anybody's mouth, not a comment that I've seen on social media about any of that stuff. It's pretty much been the people who knew what time it was from the jump that keep coming out and keep on showing example after example after example after example of look what y'all did by voting for this dude. I think you had the 94 crime bill and then that 84 bill or something like that. I remembered it back then a few years ago. But one situation in the 80s Biden was involved with, and then the 94 situation Biden was involved with that specifically dealt with black kids. I think black people in general, period. You got all these violations. By the way, you guys share this, give this a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, give a thumbs up. Thumbs up is free. All right, don't cost you anything to give a thumbs up. It's free. Because as we all know, I'm not the only one on that boat, but a lot of channels are getting shadow banned. As a matter of fact, I got a video that got deleted on here. One of my podcast episodes, which was 2 years old. They removed a 2-year-old video. And I said I was going to do an episode on that. I think I still am. It's going to actually be a part 3 too. I already did 2 videos in regards to that. I might finish it off with the trifecta. So be looking out for that. But thumbs up these videos, share it to folks. Just share it for the sake of sharing it, so the algorithms would say, hey, look, people are sharing this video. This channel might be of some interest for other people to see. Because that's where they claim that's how the algorithm works now in 2022. For YouTube, anyway. I guess Facebook, I don't know about anybody else. I hadn't had too many issues on Facebook as of late. Hopefully it won't be, because he has, or Meta as it's called now, but he's had his own set of issues going on. And I think it's like the battle of the social media execs. From what I hear, the other social media execs don't particularly care for Zuckerberg too tough. So I guess he's allowing things where the other ones are not allowing. So there's a lot of battles going on. I got put in Twitter jail the other day, a couple of days ago. So they're on there, ban, shadow ban, censorship. I thought it wasn't no censorship, but but I digress to that and continue back on this Biden campaign. So they're going to do everything they can to try to gather the black folks to vote. And another thing, this Ketanji Brown situation. And there's always going to be that group that's always going to just cape for whatever Democrats do. And I'm talking about black folks. They're going to cape for whatever black folks, whatever Democrats do for black folks. If they give them a crumb, there's going to be black folks saying, look, the Democrats gave us a crumb. We should be appreciative. I think I seen an article where James Clyburn or James Coonburn even said, I seen an article and I just looked at it, the headlines, didn't really look into it because he's part of that D1 Boule group too. So, but it was interesting that they was claiming, he said that Biden only did that to try to gather the black vote. I thought, wow, that was interesting for somebody who'll be always cooning it up anyway. It's almost like he's like getting boxed in and he can't go nowhere else and dodge and try to juke and trick his way out of situations. I guess he got to start telling the truth his darn self. Maybe he's up to be reelected himself. Who knows? So maybe telling the truth was maybe a thing where he hopes that somebody will vote for him. But supposedly he said that Biden picked Ketanji for the purposes of gathering black folks. So when these midterms come up, these midterm elections, that a lot of black folks will come down to the polls and keep them in there, keep them on top. And then there's issues with Ketanji because she even did some stuff against some black folks in a lawsuit. She stopped some black folks from getting some money. And this is why I said earlier, I might have said on one of my earlier podcast episodes, I think I spoke about her, or maybe it was a news episode that I did, is that this is why you got to look up stuff when they be starting to show you who they're going to put here and put there, or who they deciding they think they want to put here and there. You got to start looking up some stuff about them. And then, some people, unfortunately, I say it's the feminist black women are the ones who was behind it. They're going to try to flip it and say that, oh, you're hating on black women. All these black men hating on black women. It's got nothing to do with that whatsoever. And then, of course, when they do that, other women who might not be, other black women who might not be feminists, some of them get caught up in the okie doke, get tricked, and they jump on the bandwagon without thinking, without researching, and they'll jump into the same narrative as the black feminist women were spewing out, saying, "Oh, they're hating on the black woman." And you know, there's a connection between the black feminist women and Ketanji and her being married to a white man, Kamala Harris being married to a white man, and now people are starting to see, they think it's a pattern going on that you can only get up there with the big wigs if you married to a certain type, and you got to have certain type of credentials, right? So you got all this going on, and hopefully, you know, somebody will listen to this and somebody will share it, and they'll see what I've been talking about. But there's been a lot of people who have awakened, and they see, you know, they know what time it is. They see the games that's being played, and they know what's going on. But I said this to a few people here on episodes and offline as well. And that is, there are three types of people in America, or you could say around the world, when it comes to this politics thing and voting and all that. And the people in the governments know this. When we talking about the USA, we're gonna talk about the US for right now. There's people who higher up, there's rich people, they all know it, they know this, that there's these three types of groups of people, no matter what race you are. And this is what I've been saying to folks, and those three types of people are, you got the one group of people who you can constantly pull the wool over their eyes. They'll go with anything you pretty much say because they look at the government as, oh, they're some truthful people. You know, it's coming from them. They know what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. So they know they got those folks, regardless of race, regardless of what party you decide you're a part of. They just know, oh, we got them people. We can say whatever, put it out on the news. They're going to go for it. If they're a Democrat, whatever race or ethnicity you are as a Democrat, and they come out and say, well, the Republicans do X, Y, and Z, they know there's a group of people that's just going to go on with that lock and step. So that's one group. That's one type of people, group of people. The second type of group of people are the ones who have a little bit awakened, but they still be on the fence because the information that's coming in and them seeing like, yeah, this don't sound right or this don't look right can get too much for them. And so they can have a tendency to go back to that first group that I just talked about. If they're not strong enough mentally, they can fall back in line and be back with the first group who just goes with the okie doke. And some of them might be strong enough to hold on and say, you know what, I'm sticking with what the third group talking about. And that third group is the ones who know what time it is. When they see something going on, they critically thinking, and critically thinking is simple. People try to make that so hard as well. And I think that's been done on purpose, so you don't really be a critical thinker, but it's simple. You look at something, you hear something, you getting information, and instead of going for it right away, you simply ask questions. Or you just be an observer until you observe some more information. Or you being an observer and a listener to what's coming in. And you, instead of going for the okie doke right away, you just say, okay, I'm just going to wait to see what more information comes in. And then I'm going to ask questions. Or you can ask questions right up from the start. Okay, why they want to do this? Why is this? Why is that? That's being a critical thinker or an analytical thinker. You simply asking questions when you hear things. And then you also, part of that being analytical or critical thinking, you gather information on the stuff that you're hearing. You say, well, they want to vote for Ketanji, or that's their pick. Well, let me see what she's about. What's her record been? So you being a critical thinker by doing that. You being an analytical thinker by doing that. You saying, well, let me look some stuff up about her. The same thing with the when I broke down the Black Lives Matter organization versus the real Black Lives Matter people, the movement of people. And I said, I think I showed it. That was the episode, a podcast episode I did where I said, I showed and went to the website in real time and started reading what they were really about. And then a lot of people can see what the game was then. So that's what being a critical thinker, or you want to call yourself an analytical thinker, whichever word you choose, is that simple. That's how you be a critical thinker or analytical thinker. It's not hard. People try to make it hard to be, so you won't become one. It's as simple as gathering information or information you're getting. You're doing some follow-up and you asking some questions after that. And you might know some stuff already. And so based on what you're getting, being told, you already know some things. So you can come up with questions right off the bat without having to research some stuff, because you already knew certain pieces of information already. Then you just be able to ask questions. Well, how come is this? Why are you picking her when she had a record of allowing pedophiles to get off light, getting lesser time? Oh, because there might be some pedophiles in the government on the low. Pizzagate. Oh, did I say Pizzagate? So yeah, she might have been a good pick for that, because some of them might continue on their little Pizzagate fest. Yeah, I don't know what Pizzagate is. Let's look that up. Right? So that's what being a critical thinker is. So I pretty much, well, I don't think I told you about being strategic, but told you about being a critical thinker. They're both simple to do. It's a simple process of how to be more strategic. It's simple of being a critical thinker. It's not that hard at all. So that's what you need to be, a little bit more analytical on your thinking, a little bit more critical thinking. Be a critical observer as well. Be both. Critical observer and a critical thinker. Critical listener. Be all three. Stop going for the okie doke. You see what's going on. I mean, even that in itself. All these violations they keep giving other groups of people money. And when it comes to black folks, it's symbolism, but no economics. I read a book, which is a cool book, that made me think a little further, as far as saying, like, you can kind of tell. I say it like this. I'm no psychic, so don't call me no psychic. I don't got nothing to do with none of that. But you can kind of tell how things might go down in the future just by what's going down now, or what's been going on in a pattern. And so I read a book that was kind of speaking to that, saying something along those lines. Can't remember exactly the exact words, but you could kind of tell. And it was talking about chess as well. It was kind of using the game of chess to try to show you how you can use those concepts in the game of chess in real life. And they was in the book, the guy was saying how they could tell what type of chess player the person was based on the moves they were making. If they was like an amateur, or they was more using the pawn heavy type, they really wasn't, they were a novice type or whatever. And the same thing, they was making the comparison, the same thing you can tell in real life, some things that can go down in the future based off the certain things that have been going on already. And so with that being said, what's been going on already? What and has continued to go on? They keep continually giving black folks symbolism. So you can pretty much say, you know what? I can kind of tell that's the direction they're going to keep going, because this is what they've been doing. This is the information they've been providing already. This is the moves they were making, the chess moves that they made. So I can pretty much tell this is what they're going to continue doing down the road. So you can even use that process, right? You can use that process. And so let me see here. Is anything else I left out? Getting back to the Democrats, be a little bit more strategic about your vote. Stop being like some of these black folks who still want to be caught in the system of voting when even not a vote is a protest and a strategic move as well. Again, like I said, a lot of people are going to get all bent out of shape because they're not accustomed to thinking strategically or looking at things from a perspective of alternatives, options, other ideas. If you don't want to use the word strategic, there are other alternatives to that. But some folks, they're going to do a protest vote. Some black folks said they're going to do a protest vote and just vote Republican. But by voting Republican, do you think they're going to do anything for you as well? I mean, do you really think the Republicans are going to do anything for black folks as well? And I know that when Trump was president, he didn't put any policies negative against black folks. He didn't. But Biden, they showing they behinds. And we can't forget when Kamala said, we're just not going to do anything just for black people. No! I know that's going to be the world famous video that some folks are going to probably start playing back again. I'm sure of that. But yeah. So anything that again, like I was saying, I almost deviated off real quick. But voting for a Republican because you're protesting what the Democrats have done towards black folks, is that going to be in the best interest of black folks? Because, historically, the Republicans were never for black folks. And we know there was a time when there were more black Republicans, but that was a different era. And it wasn't the same as the Republicans of today. So we all know that. There was a time when that was a thing, just like it's a thing for black folks to be Democrats now. It was a thing for black folks to be Republican because they were a little bit more for black folks, but that was like a different era, a different time. These group of Republicans are not going to do nothing for you. And I always said about Trump, because I guess like the slogan goes, game recognized game. In this case, I say clever recognizes clever, because I recognize the clever stuff he's done, but it's always in his best benefit. So he didn't put policies against black people. That was a clever move, because then a lot of black people would kind of campaign for him and rock out for him. It wasn't that whether or not because he wasn't racist or not. He just made a clever move that Democrats ain't clever enough to make. Not to say tricking folks is clever, but it's a clever move. Right? And a few other things. People like his bravado. Men think he's a little bit more, like a real man, I guess you could say. I'm not saying that's I agree, but that's kind of the thing. He wasn't like no softy. But I say I recognize certain things were clever that he did. Even when he mentioned, flat out stated that, yes, black people built this country, built America, built the U.S. I said, oh, he being clever with it. And did it on TV, said it on TV. So I like, oh, okay, that's going to, and I immediately said, that's going to make a lot of black folks like him. I said, he's pretty clever with that. Got slick with it. Not that I'm rocking for him. I don't care about voting for no Republicans or him, but I do recognize the cleverness of certain people, and Democrats don't seem to have that cleverness whatsoever. Not whatsoever. And so I think that's going to be it. I can't think of anything else. I think I said as much as I can remember, and as much was on my mind. And I hate that because sometimes when I finish, then a lot of stuff come to me like, oh man, I forgot to say this. I forgot to say that. Because I very, very rarely write stuff down. I kind of go by memory. And if I write something down, it's not a script. It's just a one word thing to remind me to speak on this, or a sentence maybe to speak on that. So I do that from time to time. Other than that, if I take notes about something, then I might go over my notes. But as far as scripts, I don't do scripts. I just try to speak from the heart. And I try to fashion my notes in the same way to be able to continue to speak from the heart and not sound scripted. So, yeah, I might end up finishing this and then I'll be like, man, I forgot about that. But it's all good. So, again, my question is, where are all the Biden sexuals? Where are all the black people who voted for Biden and the Democrats? Are you still going to go for the okie doke, or are you going to become woke? Let's put it like that. That's the question. You can answer in the comments. Are you still going to go for the Democrat okie doke, or are you going to stay woke? That is the question. All right, folks. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head, anything else to throw in there at this particular time. So I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Something for y'all to think about. Again, please share this out. It's a shadow ban. I know there's a shadow ban going on my channel. I've been seeing some things and I could tell what's going on. Over the last few years, I'll have on YouTube anyway, is what I'm talking about. It'll show that I'm lost a subscriber, and then the same day a subscriber comes back. Then the next day, one subscriber's left. And then 2 or 3 days later, subscriber returns. Then they're looking at videos that's 2 years old. And like I said, I think I'm gonna speak on that on another episode, because I'm gonna show you what I was deciding to do. And then right after I decided to do that and was doing it, they removed my video. And it was one of my popular videos at that. Because as you can look on my YouTube channel, I have uploaded videos and then the most popular videos. That was the video they removed, was one of the most popular videos. And so, they putting in their work, and we're going to continue to put in our work and become clever. I think clever is a difference from being smart, in my own opinion, personal thought, and looking up the word and looking up both words in the dictionary, and it's like, So we're going to be a lot more clever with the moves we make. We try to be a lot more wiser about things. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Show the, share the video, give a thumbs up. Giving a thumbs up is free. Doesn't cost you a red cent. Go in the description if you want to support the channel. Links in the description. Support that. There's something else in the description. Oh, if you have a business, a product, a service, an event coming up down the road, a website, if you have your own podcast show, guess what you can do? You can hit the link in the description and you can pay $1 to promote whatever it is you want. And it's $1 a day. You don't have to keep on paying. You can just pay $1 for that one day, but you can go as far up as 30 days. All right. Or you can do 5 days. That's $5. Or you can do 10 days and promote your stuff. That's $10. It's just $1 to promote your business, service, product, website, event. Just hit the link in the description. It'll take you right there. And all you need to do is upload. If you got a video that's promoting your brand, or you got a picture, you can just upload it, pay your $1, and you can upload it. And what I'll do is I'll take that picture or that video that you uploaded, and wherever I do a live stream, or I might just take it and show it on any of my social media, so you get an extra promotion for just $1. All right, so keep that in mind. And you can pay up to $30 if you want to pay for a whole month of promotion. All right, I think that's a deal. Some people say it's a steal. All right, but yeah, I'm doing it for y'all. I want you to promote your stuff out there. And by the way, I also got to put this out there regarding that. Before it gets actually live, it send me a notice that somebody wants to promote their stuff, or they already posted it, and I have to approve it first. All right, so if it's some nonsense that you're promoting, you're simply just going to get your money back, and I'm just going to take it down. But if it's something, a cool product, event, you want to promote your podcast show or episode or whatever, and I take a look at it and it looks cool, looks good, then yeah, I'm gonna leave it up there, and then every chance I get, I'm gonna try to promote your stuff for you. I'm gonna do a little extra for you, so you're getting a lot for $1. All right, and like I said, you can promote. It's just $1 a day. You can promote for several days. How many days you decide you want to do it? 5, it's $5. 10 days, $10. 15 days, $15. All right, so it's $1 a day. All right, appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to all the subscribers in the room, on Facebook, on YouTube, my subscribers on YouTube, the people who follow me on Twitter, a couple of followers is rocking with me on Twitch, because I broadcast that on Twitch as well. I got to start uploading some more stuff on Instagram, TikTok as well. I'm going to start putting some stuff on there, some clips of some of these episodes. And for those who follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, subscribers on YouTube, those who listen to me on the podcast listening platforms, shout out to y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you. And share it wherever you are, share it. And black folks, period. I'm gonna get off my black immigrants versus the native blacks for right now, because sometimes there needs to be some checks and balances when it comes to that. But for right now, because it's affecting everybody in one way or the other, y'all need to wake up about who y'all voting for. They giving tangibles and they giving things that people can hold on to and do things with to other ethnicity groups. But when it comes to us, they just want to give us a symbolic chain to put on our neck. They want to give us the Rockefeller chain. And that's it. All right. I don't know if I should use that Rockefeller chain, because the chain might be real. But pretty much you know what I'm saying. They're giving none of us any economical benefits, but they're giving it to everybody else, and putting laws in play that will benefit other folks and not black folks. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all again. At this point, the motto should be B1, the letter B for black first, and not D1 for Democrat first. It should be B1 all day, black first all day. All right, at this point. Appreciate y'all. I think Biden wants to sing y'all a little song before we get out of here. He has something he wants to sing, because He wants to All right, we back. I don't know if you've been hearing me or not. My screen went off a little bit, so I had to bring myself back in on the screen. So again, like I said, it's B1 and not D1. Don't get tricked. Be a critical thinker, critical observer, and critical listener. And learn to be more strategic with your vote and strategic with your moves. And like I said, before my screen had just kind of dropped off here. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it was my fault or they was trying to bounce me up out of here. I might have touched something out the way. I'll take that. I'll take it on this one. It looks like I might have touched something and took myself off the screen for a second. But Biden wants to remind you what he thinks about y'all real quick before we get out of here. All right. With that being said, you know what it is. You rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast. What you got to say, Biden? Tell the people what you want.
I wanna rock with you, dance you in today. I wanna rock with you. We're gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there.
This episode has been brought to you by theproductstorecompany.com.
Go to the website below to purchase this beat. Go to the website below and purchase this beat. Go to the website below and purchase this beat.